Well, we're mixing up a little bit today. Me and Cody are together virtually. I don't know.
We're
Pretty
virtually
pretty cool.
together.
We're virtually together. It's like a
That
podcast, but not a podcast because we're actually doing a video about summer transition. What's happening in August, basically, right? Wouldn't you
yeah,
agree?
August
I
into
mean,
when I decided because I'm the El Presidente apparently. when
right.
I decided when I gave the idea to do the summer to fall transition video, I wanted to do it. The reason I wanted to do it so early is because a lot of times when you watch videos on baits for the summer to fall transition, where the fish go, all the things of that nature that every bass channel on YouTube does. Basically, they always do it like at the beginning of like I don't know October or like late into September, and you're like, well, okay, well now I got to make a tackle warehouse order and pray it gets here before the transition is now done, and we're moving into the winter transition. So I just thought
Or
like
if
it
they
would
even have
be
to pay.
yeah, right, exactly.
You
That's
know.
another thing is like you got to realize like when we go from summer, like the frogs were all out of stock in the summer. Well, now guess what? Everything for the fall is going to start to be out of stock. So I thought, why not do it early? I mean, some of these northern lakes are going to start turning right now. They're already going. Like, so why not do the video a
Yeah.
little early? And it's not even really early. It's just like in preparedness.
Yeah. I mean, basically, we've got uh, like a finite amount of time. Most people in the country, you know, barring Florida or the northern states, you've got about a month and a half starting really right now, um, where you're going to need that tackle or variations of them to really kind of be ready, right? Because it
Yeah.
can happen at any time. In August, you start getting, you're still warm. It's still hot for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
But at, at night, it cools down. So that's kind of the deal. Like when the nighttime temperatures start dropping back into what it doesn't stay 80 or 90 at night. That's when you're thinking about, okay, these are the baits that we need to kind of mess
Right.
with, or we
Yeah,
need to,
when the
because these
weather
bass
starts
are
tipping
moving.
down into to the low 60s and the high 50s, like it is time to start thinking about transitioning into fall fishing styles.
100%. 100%. So we thought let's do baits. Let's figure out what we want, uh, well, what we're going to throw, really, and what we think you guys should throw too. So,
Fall is literally the best time to fish and my favorite thing ever. Like you can literally throw whatever the hell you want. It's like umbrella rig, that's fine. Drop shot, that's fine. You want to throw one of those sweet topwater snakes? Go for it. I don't care. What about the savage duck or the savage bat? I'm
there
surprised
you go.
Savage doesn't make like a calf, like a baby cow or something. They probably do. Never can tell. Be a big ass bass.
Make a big ass bass. Yeah, no doubt. That's Texas style bass right there. But you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You can your tackle box gets a lot
All of it.
bigger. The ability to utilize everything. So we're gonna try and like narrow it a little bit, even though we don't practice what we're gonna preach.
Well, it's kind of funny is like what happens in the fall is like R5 go to like well, like your go to fall baits like the YouTubers or people that make bass fishing videos to talk about just happen to be like our favorite baits because you can throw whatever you want. If I can throw whatever I want, I'm going to throw my favorite stuff.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want something in your hands that you're pretty confident in. I mean, that's the point, right? You got to be confident. So,
Yeah, exactly. Having your confidence bait.
all right. So start it off, dude. What do you got?
Well, I'm gonna start off. I kind of got them. I kind of got them laid out here as in a way of like the transition time, like be it like now through like basically probably the next month or so, where you're kind of still in that summer. Nights are starting to get cooler, but you still got a lot of that pond scum, gross matted grass. What do we go to?
Yeah,
But
the
the
frog.
frog.
Right.
And I mean, frog. This can play all through fall too. I mean, this thing fishes in open water. Switch to a popping frog if you want. I mean, this river to sea walks really well. This is the what do they call this thing? I always forget the name of this thing. The Bully Wah. Is that
Bullywall,
what it is?
yeah,
I always
Bullywall
forget.
two.
Yeah, the River to
Mhm.
Sea.
I'll put it right
They
here.
walk really well
I'll put it
uh,
right here. I'm gonna put it
over
right
there.
there.
But a frog, obviously, summertime, great. The nights are cooling down, and those bass might start pushing bait fish up into shallow water more frequently and more actively because the shallow water is cooling down a little bit more. But when it gets hot, they're still going to suck back to that real thick grass because there's oxygen there. We talked about that before, and that's where the bait fish are going to be at too, hiding around. So, frog still a player in the late summertime, obviously.
Hi, am I
Hello.
going?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay. All right. So I would say my number one bait right now, without a doubt, is going to be a walking topwater bait. I've talked about it before. I know Cody has too, but a walking topwater bait, one of my favorites, the Evergreen. There's a bunch of them. I mean, the shower blow, right there. That's what I meant. Okay, right there. You got one? Maybe. Yeah, he's got one. Okay, so there you go, right there. That's it. Something like that, and it's fast. It's erratic. You can throw it. Nice thing about that top water, that style of top water is you can throw it when there's chop on the water. You can throw it when it's glass. You can throw it when there's 2 footers, whatever. It kind of allows you to get real crazy with it because it's a little heavier. It's going to stay in the water. Bass are going to be able to see it. So it's kind of like one of those top waters that you wouldn't throw normally a top water if it starts getting real choppy. You're not going to do that, but you can with this, and that's what's so cool. So you can still activate those fish, and it's a great one around stick ups and stuff like that. I try and stick with 3 treble baits. Bait like that size is going to have 3 trebles most of the time. If not, just get some sticky treble hooks. You're in good shape. That's my number one, honestly.
You know what's worth noting with walking style baits in the summer to fall transition is not only in the summertime can you generate a great reaction bite because this thing is so erratic up shallow, but as they go into fall and start really keening on bait fish, you can catch schooling fish with this like crazy into the fall, which makes this a great summer to fall transition because it's covers the whole gamut.
Yeah, I guess one more plus about it too is you don't have to run it super fast. You can run it almost like a popper. It's got a
Yeah,
big
absolutely.
popper. It's got a concave face, so it's going to shoot a lot of water. And you can walk it, pause it, walk, pause. You can
Hmm.
literally run as fast or as slow as you want to, and you're going to be able to kind of figure out what the bass are looking for. So it's
Absolutely.
great around rock. It's great around all that stuff. It's really open water.
Yeah.
Spotted bass, forget it. Those things are, I mean, why it's one of my favorites. Always tied on.
Well, it was a great segue, my man, because my next one that I have sitting here is, in fact, a popper. This is
There you
the
go.
Storm Arashi cover pop. Um, Poppers are great for the same reason that the spook or walkie style baits are great because again it's kind of covers the whole time period of summer to fall transition because you can throw this thing up real shallow and work it really slow and real finessey like when those bass when the nights start to cool down and those bass are getting up real shallow to push bait fish. You get out there in the morning, you can throw this thing real shallow and catch fish for at least the first couple hours, depending on how cool your night was. And
Sure.
then again into the fall when full on fall feed, like when bass are schooling up to hit those bait fish. This thing, I mean, you can bring fish out of 30 feet of water with a popper. It's crazy. Don't know how, but you can.
Yeah. It's finessey. That's the best part. And what I like about a popper is you can work it super slow. In fact,
Oh,
as the winter progresses, the fall progresses into the winter, you throw it out there. And what's your rule, dude? I'm gonna let Cody tell you the rule when you throw it out there.
Oh,
What is it?
well, I mean, I don't know if this is the right rule, but the rule I follow is when you cast that thing out there, I wait for all the ripples to disappear before I even touch that thing with a twitch, a pop, or
Yeah.
anything.
And a lot of times you get smacked on the first movement or
There's a lot of times you get smacked
while
before
it's
the
sitting
ripples are
there.
gone.
Right, exactly. So that, it's just kind of one of those deals. It's a super effective bait right now. I think it's a super effective bait all year, but right now for sure, and it's super
Yeah,
versatile. Anybody can throw that bait. It does not
yeah,
have
brand
to
new angler.
be a pro. It could be it could be brand new, first day, whatever, on a spinning rod. That's what's so fun about it. The other really cool part is it's a topwater bite, so they're fantastic. I mean, that's like the
Absolutely.
coolest way to catch a bass, or any fish for that matter.
Yeah.
So you get like that instant gratification, that super exciting, holy shit moment. It's a cool bait for
And
sure.
to be honest, that's a great point you made for beginners. Like, to be honest, like, it's fairly easy to keep bass pinned with this because they're not real heavy, they're not real big. The treble hooks are usually way too big for the bait. I don't know if you guys can see these on this freaking storm, but I mean they're huge. I mean,
Hmm.
if you get a good brand, they come with good treble hooks, or you're swapping them out for some really sticky stuff that you're putting on whatever you like. I mean, I never really thought about that, but this is a great bait for beginners because like it's pretty easy to keep them pinned, and it's a topwater bite, and that gets them excited and makes them want to keep fishing.
And you're doing something. You're not just throwing
Yeah,
it out there and
and you can
sitting
see it.
there and bouncing. Yeah, you can see it. You're not just sitting there bouncing
Yeah,
uh, weightless Cinco or a drop shot. I mean, so
yeah,
you're able to work it. You're able to see what's going on, which is exciting, especially for new anglers. By the way, it never gets old, but it's
yeah. It
pretty
doesn't.
awesome.
That's fine. Don't worry about it
It
rubbing
keep
off
it
or
keeps yeah, it keeps the new guys pretty pumped to keep
yeah.
fishing for sure. That's what we need.
Rolling through as summer leaves us and fall starts to really set in, we start to lose that grass, that matted grass, the hydrilla, the milfoil, all that nasty stuff, and it starts to thin out. And then one of the best baits ever invented comes into play. Ow! It also sticks you in the fingers because it's got tremendous hooks. A lipless crankbait. This happens to be a
Nice.
Strike King red eye shad in tungsten two tap, and that's some type of gill color. I don't know, ghost gill, green gill, some type of gill. But really awesome when you start losing that really, really thick grass. When it starts to thin out, the water starts to cool down, when you can actually throw this
Right.
through the grass and rip it through without it being 15 pounds of grass on your bait, and you can come through clean. That is when you should start throwing that. And as soon as you can do that, throw it, in my opinion. Great.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're taking the top of the grass or going through it, ripping that thing through is going to catch a lot of fish because they're on the move. They're fat. They're trying to feed. They're very aggressive. Their metabolism's through the roof, and they're chasing. So you got to take
Mm-hmm.
advantage of that for sure. Fast moving baits are that's kind of the theme here today. I mean, obviously we will throw in some other stuff just because, I mean, follow up baits and so forth, but a lot of this stuff is moving baits, and there's a reason, and it's because they're moving too. So
Well, I was just gonna say almost stay on the same roll because we can roll this into kind of basically the same talking points, and that's just a square bill. This is a
mm,
Spro Arashi square bill. Nothing special. Your favorite square bill will work, but again, same thing with the lipless. Like as soon as you start to lose some of that grass and you're starting to be able to fish around your favorite laydowns and stuff again, and rocks and riprap and anything where those bass get up shallow, moving baits. Square bill is awesome.
yeah, it's important. Like we got to make sure we tell everybody, like, if you like the same stuff we like in terms of like product, cool. But we're not trying to pimp it like at all. Like whatever
No.
you guys are comfortable with throwing. I don't care what it is, who it is, what company it is, doesn't matter. We're not pimping anything except for,
Nope.
our stuff, which we happen to think is pretty awesome. But
It is awesome.
whatever you're confident in, man. I mean, that's the name of the game. Anybody that tells you this is the only bait you can throw is trying to sell you something, and that's
Yeah.
not what we're trying to do. We're trying to sell you on an idea to go out and have some fun with these baits. That's kind of what we're going at. But
Yeah. We're trying to sell you on a good time.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what the bait is. If you're having fun with
Um,
there
I
isn't
mean,
a bad one. If
I'm
you're
not gonna
catching
lie.
fish on
Like,
it,
you can fish whatever Squarebill you want, but I would be very cautious about buying that Ozark Trail one from Walmart. Okay,
okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna
fair enough.
caution you.
It's
That's it.
probably from Strike King, but whatever.
I don't think it is, man. I think it's from like
Nah.
Strike Queen.
Yeah, from it's
It's a
from
sister company,
Taiwan. Right.
Taiwan.
Yeah.
I'm like full fall bait here. I mean, we are there.
Okay.
Everything's
Oh, okay.
dead.
Got
I
it.
mean, I'm
No more
not dead.
grass.
Dead. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
No
Everything's
muskrats.
dead.
Yeah,
No moss grass.
mm-hmm.
Bass are all bait fish. They are just bait fish centric. And then you get to move on to this beauty, the spinnerbait. I grabbed this one specifically because it has a gold and a silver blade. Um, I think that in the summertime, when it's still a little mucky, you're transitioning and they're starting to key in on bait fish, and you go to this, a lot of the time your water's still kind of gross. So I like to have that gold.
A little bit
Just give
extra
them a little
flash.
something extra, or even if you have like the combo blades, where one's like a little tiny Colorado or something. The more rounded ones, just for a little more thump. That's good to have. And then as it gets, into deep fall, I mean, you can go to straight. I mean, basically clear everything depending on what lake you're in. But
Sure.
everybody loves a spinnerbait.
I think also it's kind of one of those things. Like it's pretty important to say. I said that twice already. It's freaking
It's
weird.
very
Anyway,
important.
if you're gonna throw a spinning bait right now, or spinnerbait rather, if you're gonna throw a spinnerbait right now, put a trailer on it.
Yeah.
Now is not the time to run small spinner baits with no trailer, like the War Eagle. Uh, that those are awesome, but you're looking to be different from all the other bait fish, right? Like you want to stand out, and the only way you're going to stand
Yeah.
out is to have a bigger presentation. And there are days where you're going to want to scale that down, but you're not going to be throwing a spinnerbait on those days.
Most
So
likely not.
if it's yeah, if it's a spinnerbait day, you want something with that trailer and or with a swim bait trailer, like he said. Cody earlier said uh, they are really keying in on bait fish right now. Now is not the time to throw a trailer on anything.
You don't need
Spinnerbait,
fire craw or
right?
freaking red fire
Or
truck or
bait
any of that
fish,
nonsense.
fire crotch, all those.
Fire.
Don't do it.
You don't need fire crotch.
That's a different bait. That's a different bait. We'll talk about that some other time. Anyway, yeah. So spinnerbait's awesome. I think the theme's going to be uh, bait fish. So you want to throw. I mean, even if you're throwing finesse stuff, bait fish, right? That's kind of what you need to have in your head because they're
Mm-hmm.
eating bait, and the bait fish are getting bigger. So a 4.3 is that what's on there? I'm
That is
assuming
a 4.3, 4.5 Kitech, 4.3. What it is. Yep.
4.3 because otherwise the tail gets hooked sort sometimes. So
Yeah. I
4.8s
think.
are a little too long. So
Yeah.
yeah,
This is a 4.8.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Fuck
Yep.
me, right? Okay.
No, you're right.
All right.
The 4.3 is the way to go,
4.3 is better.
or the 3.8 even, because it gets hooked like this every once in a while. It's not like it happens
It
every
doesn't happen
time,
very often.
but it's annoying when it does.
And you can mitigate that by not using Kitech either. There's a lot of other bait. I mean, Six Sense has stiffer baits. They're not going to bend back that far.
Also,
So there's
like
that too.
if that's all you have, don't even worry about it. Just bite the first inch of this thing's head off.
You can do that too if you're disgusting and like salt.
That's what I
Or
do.
Cody, you like that shit. I know.
I'm just saying, man.
I commend you.
Not everybody has the resources to go buy 15 different $10 packs of swim
I
baits.
agree.
Not everybody has the storage to carry 15 different sizes of Kitech swing impact fats.
That's also true. But they
Yeah.
probably have some sort of cutting device other than their teeth.
I mean, yeah, sure. If you got
You
a
know what?
knife or some scissors.
I'm not here to judge. You do what you want to do.
I don't understand why you think it's so gross when I bite stuff.
I just don't like it. I don't like the taste. It tastes like, I don't know. It's like squid, salty squid, Kitex. It's
Little
disgusting.
calamari.
Just, yeah. It's not, though. It's like the gross calamari that's been sitting out on the table for an hour.
That's true. That is true.
It's a perfect time to throw flukes. I don't know why I get so angry about it. It's awesome. Fluke time is here. Okay, I'm just saying. You can throw one, you can throw two, you can throw 15 if you want. I don't care. Get crazy. It would be interesting, but you're going to catch a lot of fish on flukes right now, especially when they start boiling on bait. So when they start corralling bait and they're into like what we would consider to be like the fall feed, that is when, because it's open water, it mimics bait fish brilliantly. There's a lot, you can catch a lot of fish on a fluke. Open water's nice. You can, oh, what?
If there's any time of the year I'm going to throw a fluke, it's going to be in the fall.
And the truth shall set you free. Okay.
Oh, dear.
He's a dick, but he's not kidding. He's not kidding. It's a good time. It's a good time to throw it. If you want to try and throw flukes, if you're getting into it, this is the time to do it up until, I don't know, November, probably. It depends on where you're at, obviously, but there's a real fun time of the year, and this is it. Coming up.
I'll tell you how I decide when I stop throwing flukes. If I don't catch a fish on a fluke in the first 5 casts, I'm not picking it up till next fall.
You know what? That's a good point. I don't agree 100%, but it's a good point.
Mean, we can alter that number a little bit. 6 casts.
Listen, there's not a lot of baits I'm going to throw more than 4 times before I switch it up. Okay, I'm just saying.
True. Actually, that's a great segue because there is one bait that I will throw more than 6 times before I change it up. And that is our alternate for these 5, and that's the drop shot.
That's the drop shot, yeah.
I mean,
if you don't have a drop shot tied on this time of year,
if you don't have a drop shot tied on all year, what are you even doing with your life?
Okay. I know. I'm just saying.
This time I'm going to be specific. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. I don't lie. The only drop shot bait that works in the fall is Inland Bait's money shot in Panda juice. You can't catch them on anything else. It's just not possible.
We don't get paid, right? We don't get paid.
This isn't even open. This is a fresh pack. Look at this. Not even open yet.
It's a retail pack. I love
it. That's a retail pack right there, baby. Look at those.
If you guys want, you can go to inlandbaits.com. It's right here.
Look at this. You guys seen that yet? Look at this right here.
Oh, look at you. Getting crazy back there. DP20 at checkout gives you 20% off, by the way. If you just decide that's the only drop shot bait that you want to throw, go for it.
I mean, all their baits in Panda juice is the best bait to throw. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a tag of the shit kicker dogs.
Life happens, my man.
The drop shot. I mean, it works all year round. Obviously, we all know that. But in fall, it's no different. Again, forward thinker that I am, I picked up the money shot because it is a bait fish profile. Again, bass keyed in on bait fish. Might as well go to a drop shot bait that looks more like a bait fish than a worm.
So if you want to throw an actual bait fish on your drop shot, Inland Baits, Cody's going to show you right here.
This is the skinny shad. I mean, or not. It's right here, man. Relax. It's probably backwards. You can't see it anyways. That's the skinny shad.
And that's that's another variation. I love throwing bait fish drop shots right now. It's a fishing time to do it. They are very, very keyed in on the bait.
I am a fan of throwing bait fish drop shots because not a lot of people do it, so it's just way different.
Yeah, I mean, drop shot by nature seems to be like worming.
Most people are throwing a robo worm. Let's be honest here.
Great bait. But if there's any time to throw a bait fish profile, this is it for sure. We think it's all the time or absolutely something that you need to have like in your arsenal. But right now, for the next couple months, it is lights out. What else
Get
you got?
out there, get some fishing. Don't worry, the heat's gonna go away soon, and it will be the best fishing time ever. It's that
It's a great
monkeypox.
time of year to go fishing. Whether you're on the bank, it is. It's definitely monkeypox. Whether you're on the bank, whether you're fishing off a kayak, whether you're fishing off a boat, whatever, go do it. It's a great time to try different techniques and get
Yes.
bit. So you're going to get some confidence on those techniques, which is very important. Again, if you're newer to fishing, this is a great time of year to do it because you can kind of test those different techniques that you weren't sure about, or maybe you don't have a lot of confidence in. And that's really more than half the battle when you're talking fishing. It's between the ears. You got to be confident in your
Mm-hmm.
baits. You got to be confident in your stuff. And this is a great time of year to get confident because there's a lot of fish and they're in very particular spots. So it's
And
kind
they'll
of
bite
a little bit easier
everything.
to target. Yeah, they will, and it's only going to get better for the next couple of months. Only going to get better. So, World Link, all the stuff that we talked about in the video description. You're going to get pictures on the screen.
Don't forget to subscribe to our. Hey, there's a little ticker tape rolling across the bottom.
Shit, man, you haven't seen that? It's been there the whole fucking time.
Uh, if you haven't done so already, guys, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, hit the bell. Let us know what your guys' favorite fall baits are, summer to fall transition, that good stuff. Let us know how you like the videos. Get at us. Just come chat. We like to chat. People are fun.
We do. We enjoy it.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time.